Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we are going to be having a look at a massive diorama that I've created of Tatooine, and well, I just class it as Mos Eisley. Of course, it's not anywhere screen accurate, and going to have to apologise here first and foremost because this is actually being filmed in a garage because this is just so big. Now, about 6 months ago, I did actually do a sort of a smaller sort of Tatooine Mos Eisley diorama. Let me just jump in here as well quickly, sorry, and apologise for the light because there's only one dingy little light in this garage, and obviously if you go out of focus with it, obviously you're not going to get as good an angle. So I did actually use a couple of these parts previously, so I've used this bit of polystyrene previously, and if you can sort of see that one in the middle there, I've used that, and at that end, that tiny one on the right-hand side. So, but what I've done differently this time, I just painted them up previously, and this time I've actually sort of gone a little bit to town, so I've actually put sort of polycelled them up to sort of give them more of that sort of rustic look, and then painted them white, and then put everything with a wash. All the rest of the diorama pieces here that you actually see are basically then just made up of cardboard boxes that have simply been cut out and again painted up with like a white, just a normal white matte paint, and then given a wash. So just to give you an idea of the scale of this thing, when I say this is a huge diorama, and why it is being filmed in a garage, is quite simply this is on a piece of board, and all I've done here, this sort of cloth really is just simply a it's an old dust sheet that I just put down, excuse me, but I think it works quite well for the effect. Now, in terms of the size of this whole thing, just to give you an indication of scale, this is 96 inches long by 48 inches wide. So if I give you a view of the street, I say streets. Sorry, because the camera work's not good, because obviously I'm doing this all handheld. And of course, as I said, there's just not a lot of room for me to maneuver in here. But it's just to give you a massive look, really, I suppose, at the scale and the idea of this. And actually how easy these things are to put together. Now, all of the doors that you can sort of see here, they are literally just made out of Westfoam from designs and cut up, and then obviously sort of painted, other than this one here. Let me just move that big box. And that was 3D printed by Ian at IB3D. And it was actually, I think it was sort of part of a Mos Pelgo diorama that he had those doors for, but I thought that worked quite nicely, and I've just cut around the outside of it, if you can see that properly, to slip that in. So that works nicely. And I've just tried to sort of put some characters, any old characters in, really. Most of these are sort of 3.75 inch Power of the Force line. But it's a real weird mix in here that I've got, like a couple of K2SO droids. You got Biggs, Cammy and that there. Aunt Brew. I'm not going to focus too much on the figures. It was more to give you an idea of the scale of this thing. So yeah, it's absolutely enormous. This camera work certainly won't do it justice in any way, shape or form. But as I said, it's literally all polystyrene cardboard boxes and Westfoam. So it just goes to show you what you can do with a little bit of imagination. And it doesn't take long to do. Little bits of polystyrene dotted around here and there. Obviously, you've got these sort of polystyrene balls. There's one on the top there, and one on that top one at the back. And that one at the back there, I've got Watto and Sebulba. Literally, that's just sort of two boxes taped together. Again, all just painted up. A couple of straws just painted with that sort of rustic silver. All of the barrels and the generators and the boxes that you see, they are all 3D printed by Ian IB3D. So again, if you're looking at making dioramas, I would certainly encourage you to have a look at what he does. I know he's been very busy, obviously, on the sites, on the Facebook groups, producing some really fabulous stuff. So I'll go from this end. Sorry, again, this is now where the camera work goes really bad, just because of the light. But that's just try and get it in scale. It doesn't even really get in. I can't even get it in there. So yeah, 96 inches by 48. Now this is unfortunately, you know, because this is in a garage, this isn't going to be a permanent thing. This will all obviously just be pulled down, unfortunately, eventually, and just probably thrown away. But those sort of, I suppose, I don't want to class them that, but almost like those sort of tent covers, if you want. That's just literally using the what's the word for it now? Oh God, I've completely forgotten. It's just that roll that you put in water and it goes hard. God, my mind's gone blank. But it was funny because I was speaking to Daniel Chart as well, and he was saying, look, I've got loads of greeblies I could send over to you to sort of put onto this to make this diorama better. And you know, it was very kind of Daniel, and it would have been great. But as I said to him, look, this isn't going to be a permanent thing, unfortunately, because otherwise I'd have liked to have put things like, you know, cables running across, like power lines, that sort of thing. But I'm really, really happy with the way that that's actually come out. As I said, big diorama. Unfortunately, won't be there for long. But yeah. It's funny how you go from one side of the light to the other. I suppose this one in the middle here is the one I was least happy with, really, just quite simply because I was running out of patience and time. But if you look at the film, as I said, I know this is in no way sort of screen accurate in any way, shape or form, but they do have one of those things sort of right in the middle where it's sort of steaming out of the vents and things. But you know, not screen accurate because obviously that cantina's tiny, but I think that looks really good. The other thing that I have actually managed to put in there, which I didn't in the last diorama, which are really cool. I know I sort of focused on these previously, but those Stormtrooper helmets that Ian printed, which are super cool. But yeah, it's a big piece, big diorama piece. Really good fun putting it together as well. And actually, when you do these sort of things, and you know, you actually sort of see them come to life, if you like. I know that sounds a bit stupid, but you know what I mean. If you're watching this, you're going to have an understanding and an interest in the Star Wars side of things anyway. But really, really happy with the way that whole thing has completely come together. I'll go for one final look from this end, just at the street. Again, sorry, that camera work is rubbish from this end just because of the light. So we'll take it all the way back round. Funny how when you go under that light, it suddenly appears. Said all the doors literally made of Westfoam, doubled up, painted, and the doors actually come out really nice. And then we will just go for, see if we can get that side of the street, and then that side of the street. So overall, really happy with the way that's all sort of come together. Really good fun making this. Yeah, had a lot of fun with it. And, you know, again, you can make all these sort of things. As I said, this is literally some thrown away polystyrene and some old boxes. You know, it's cost next to nothing. It's cost a few quid here and there for materials like, you know, the paints and bits and pieces like that. But other than that, and obviously, of course, the 3D printed things, but that's understandable. But other than that, it's absolutely next to nothing. So we'll just have one final look round. And at that end, because that's probably my favourite end, that one, with the, excuse all the rubbish in the background, boxes and rubbish. But yeah, that's come out. Really, really chuffed with that. Anyway, that's it for today's diorama. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel and you want to subscribe, there'll be plenty more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions, any comments at all on this diorama, I'd love to hear from you. So please leave them in the comments section below. And yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.